Yo, what's up, you guys? It's Zach, Ohio Skater. So if you saw my video this morning, it was about Cobra Kai, basically. Good show, martial arts show. Um, Continuation of the Karate Kid movies. A lot of good fighting scenes in that show. I love fighting scenes. The way they're choreographed, and some fighting scenes just amaze me how the actors were able to do that. I think action movies are low key slept on. People think they're a little cheesy. People think they're a little corny sometimes. But choreographing an action scene is hard. It's hard. It's probably harder than choreographing dancing, honestly. And a true to make something look like a true fight and to also make it look crazy and badass. But we came back and we watched some true fights. We watched some real fights. I popped in some UFC. I have some UFC DVDs here. So I told you guys I wanted this channel to also be about my collecting things. So I got some DVDs here I want to show you, and I have some books I want to show you. So we after watching Cobra Kai this morning, we went to the park, and then we came back, and I was like, you know what? That Cobra Kai got me in the mood to got me in this fighting fan type of mood. So I popped in some UFC DVDs. I've been trying to get into UFC more lately. So I got all these DVDs from the exchange. From the exchange. You can see they were really cheap. $3, $3, $8, $5. $5. So I got these DVDs. This is more OG UFC. UFC has gotten a lot bigger since these things. Some of these are really old. You see, you got UFC 61, UFC 66, but then you got sort of in the 100, 110, 115, 116. But I guess classics. They were at the exchange, and I've been wanting to get into UFC, so I thought maybe buy some DVDs, some older fights, and I can sort of learn more from the history and the older fights. And so we're watching this UFC 110 right now. We haven't gotten to the main events yet, but we watched like 3 fights so far, and it takes place in Sydney, Australia. An Australian dude won a fight. That was a crazy fight. He looked pretty evenly matched with the other dude. It was tough. This other guy, the one of the first fights we saw, this dude was bleeding all over the place in his face, bloody ass face. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are ruthless. You do not want to fuck with these dudes. Like, this dude had a bloody ass face, dude. Like, blood everywhere, and there's blood all over these mats. From all the fights, and it's just, these dudes are ruthless. You know what I'm saying? But you see a little bit of the Cobra Kai principles when you watch this. The defensive principles, the offensive principles. You got Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai, stuff like that. You see those principles here in the real fights. You know what I'm saying? Because these dudes are professional martial artists. You know what I'm saying? They grew up like the Cobra Kai kids are growing up. You know what I'm saying? So they're professionals at this shit. You know what I'm saying? So of course you're gonna see those principles in there. But I was talking about, I'm a big fan of Bruce Lee. Oh, there's one more thing I gotta show you. So I wanted to talk a bit about Bruce Lee. Basically, let me find this. So I wanted to show you, I got these books by Bruce Lee, but I also wanted to show you. So I got this, I forgot about this for a second, but I got Bruce Lee collection. This is his greatest hits, Bruce Lee's greatest hits. It's a DVD collection. Basically, I'll try to basically, you open up this booklet and you got, there's more DVDs on the other one, but yeah, it's a DVD collection, Bruce Lee's greatest hits. But Bruce Lee taught martial arts. He was a professional kung fu guy, sorta. He taught martial arts. He taught very expensive classes. Bruce Lee did. He would teach celebrities, because he was a celebrity movie star. You know what I'm saying? So he would teach rich people and celebrities, and he has these books. He invented the style Jeet Kune Do. So I got this book, Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do. He invented that style, and it's basically a style of no style. And what I was telling Phil is this is like Bruce Lee promoted basically the OG MMA. I think Bruce Lee, he was big in the 60s, 70s, I guess, around then. MMA, or UFC specifically started in like the 90s, I believe. I think UFC started in the 90s. So Bruce Lee was like OG, you know what I'm saying? Jeet Kune Do is essentially a style of MMA. MMA stands for mixed martial arts, but so you're supposed to mix different styles. But the whole point of Jeet Kune Do as a style is supposed to be the style of all styles. You know what I'm saying? You pick whatever works from any style, and you use that. So Bruce Lee low-key promoted that. The OG MMA was low-key Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do. And I got this book, Striking Thoughts. This is more philosophy. The other one, Jeet Kune Do, is like workout routines and basically strictly martial arts. This is like life philosophy from Bruce Lee here, Striking Thoughts. And Phil was just reading through it, reading us some of Bruce Lee's thoughts. And so I just wanted to show you that stuff from my collection because I love collecting things. And I've always loved Kung Fu movies. Big fan of Kung Fu movies. I grew up on Jackie Chan. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude's OG as fuck. Jackie Chan, I can make some videos about some Jackie Chan movies, but today we're focusing on Bruce Lee just because Bruce Lee taught. I think Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee style, was the OG. I mean, what morphed into MMA essentially, UFC. So I wanted to show you that stuff from my collection and show you what Cobra Kai sort of inspired for me this morning. I've been talking about Bruce Lee all morning. We've been watching UFC and we've been talking about Bruce Lee all morning. It's got me on a good vibe right now. So yeah, I haven't read much of either of these books. I read a little bit of the Jeet Kune Do book. I haven't read any Striking Thoughts, but Phil was just reading us some Striking Thoughts. But I've seen all those Bruce Lee movies and trying to get through these UFC DVDs. But yeah, I think the lesson you can get out of this is Bruce Lee started Jeet Kune Do in the 60s and 70s or some shit like that. And then fast forward to the 90s, you have the emergence of UFC, a whole league of MMA. MMA, basically what Bruce Lee promoted, a style of all styles. No style, really, but essentially a style of all styles, and which is why it's no style. So you never know when you create something, you never know what it's going to morph into. UFC, this huge organization, international organization, Phil was saying, it's international and it's big money and it's big business and it's got a cult following low-key, but it's big. It's niche, but it's big. It's one of those things. It's like my passion for skateboarding. It's like similar in a similar vein of skateboarding, but yeah, don't fuck with UFC fighters. Bruce Lee, OG, Bruce Lee started some shit and it morphed into a whole fighting league, and that's what we get UFC today. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, shout out Bruce Lee, the OG, and I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my collection there. But yeah, we're on some UFC shit this morning. Good stuff. So, peace.